Hi, this is Lisa Woods, Managing Partner of Realcomm. We're here at Realcomm Live at the CoreTech and BuildingsAI conference, and joining me is Andy Birch, Vice President of Product Marketing for MRI Software. Hi, Andy.
Hi.
How
good to be
are
here.
you? Good to see you.
Yes, as always.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
You've been busy lately.
Yeah, pretty busy. Pretty busy.
Well, you guys have been, you personally have been busy, but MRI has been very busy over the last couple of years. So how has 2023 been different for you, say, over 2022?
Yeah, it's really just like a consolidation of our kind of position in the market. You know, as it relates to kind of CoreTech and BuildingsAI, MRI has kind of made a couple of acquisitions, which we can get into over the last couple of years, and it's really been about meeting our customer requirements today and into the future. And one of the things that we are most excited about is that we were recently nominated the global leader of lease administration and accounting solutions by IDC.
Wow.
So they released their MarketScape earlier this year, and that is a great testament to our product team, but also in terms of our clients, who actually provided the references around that,
Right.
and just shows how happy they are with some of the systems that we're providing.
Congratulations, that's huge.
It is huge.
It is huge. I know I talked with Pat in June at the conference, and it was just amazing how much you guys were doing, how many things you were involved in around AI and around diversity, equity, and inclusion, and just a central focus on internally at MRI Software and the needs of your employees and all those sorts of things. Has it been difficult juggling a lot of those things, both internal and external, because you also have a lot of clients to satisfy?
Yeah. No, actually, it's kind of weird how it all comes together, because we've always had this strategy around being open and connected, and kind of meeting our clients' requirements and thinking about our clients first. And that kind of empathy kind of crosses both in terms of our clients' needs and wants, and in terms of our DEI positioning as well. So it's actually been super rewarding this last year.
Right.
We introduced a leadership track at our conference in October that our clients really enjoyed. And again, not quite relevant to this audience perhaps, but in terms of our affordable and public housing teams, it really kind of resonated with them that we were kind of meeting that kind of need.
Right.
So that was very, very rewarding, as I said. So,
Talk to me a little bit, tell me a little about your go-to-market strategy.
so as it relates to our kind of corporate real estate area and our occupier or tenant clients, we try and kind of break down a lot of like the buzzwords and terminology in the market, and we talk about three fundamental things. We talk about leases, locations, and lives. So from the leases perspective, I touched on that with the IDC survey, and that was really about bringing together the different solutions for leasing to meet those requirements. Fundamentally, everyone's challenged with this kind of compliance requirement and reporting regulations. But that is a problem for a lot of clients in terms of getting the information into the system in the first place. And that's where we use AI with our contract intelligence solution. So we abstract the information from the leases, we push that into the system, clients are able to look at the data there and make decisions in real time about how they're managing their portfolio. So that is something fundamental in terms of saving them time and effort in the first place, but also in terms of quicker decision making and risk avoidance in terms of having that information available. Then on the location side, that's where we brought together a couple of solutions. So we acquired a company called eSite, which is energy management, a couple of years ago. And we also acquired an organization called Springboard, which provides footfall analytics. And those are all key in terms of supporting our clients' needs as they move more into having to provide ESG reporting and that kind of thing within an organization.
Right.
So that's where we've seen a lot of interest recently. We signed a deal to expand 7-Eleven across Canada earlier this year.
You've had a lot of wins with some very big clients.
Yeah, so Coca-Cola across Europe,
Right.
Starbucks in APAC, Colliers in North America are using our solution for their clients. So there's a bunch of people really that are starting to look at us across all kind of sectors, so office, retail, and kind of manufacturing and distribution.
Right, right. And of course, data has always been a focus.
Yeah.
The integrity of data, the management of data, the collection of data for MRI. And of course, that is the foundation of AI.
Yes.
And,
yeah.
and MRI is very heavily involved in AI, has been developing AI. It was quite surprising. You guys filled out the survey. Pat filled that out and was very detailed, which we appreciated.
Yep.
And it was wonderful learning about how long you have really been developing AI, and not for the sake of AI, but using AI, the AI tools, to enhance what you already have. And so you're very much down the road, I think, probably ahead of a lot of companies in the development of that and focusing on AI. So what would you say to that in terms of what going forward?
Yeah, we have this like AI first strategy that we put in place a couple of years ago. We actually invested significantly in the workforce. So over 500 developers were trained end to end on artificial intelligence, how to use it in terms of development, and that's really paid dividends in terms of the proliferation of AI across multiple solutions, MRI, and we've really got we have this platform strategy called MRI Agora.
Okay.
Which is, again, a hark back to ancient Greece and bringing people together in a connected community.
Right.
So we've now released what we call MRI Agora Artificial Intelligence, or A2I, as like an abbreviation, which really talks about this philosophy of putting that into everything that we do. And so we were able to demonstrate, I think, 7 or 8 kind of new major feature releases at our conference just a month ago, and it will continue to accelerate moving forward. So we're very excited about that.
Well, we before we run out of time, I do want to talk about the survey that you guys have been conducting. I know you recently did one, but I think you've been doing these surveys for a couple of years. Tell us about the survey and what the results were.
So I talked about leases and I talked about locations. I didn't really touch on lives, and that's where the survey comes in. So the survey is really, we send it out. We got something like about 1,300 responses from real estate professionals across a number of different sectors, and we've been looking at return to the office policies and looking at the sentiments of our clients and what they're feeling about office space. So what was quite surprising about that was the significant change in the last 6 months or so. We carried out the last survey at the end of 22. We just did the survey in October, and what that showed was a couple of things. Firstly, that more organizations had put in place a formal policy about return to the office. So a year ago, it was like 40% of the respondents had a policy. Now 90%. So that's huge in terms of that jump. So and more spread out across the week. So things like actually people coming in on Mondays and Fridays now, which is, kind of surprising because I haven't been, but it's good to see that that's happening. But the other thing that was really interesting about this was that, we've seen a lot of people say they need less space, but the forecast from this group was that they saw over 50% were saying that more space would be required by their organizations. Now, there's a couple of things that we need to drill into as part of that, which is really about what does that really mean? And I think it's just change in the way space is actually used.
Right.
So putting in more kind of collaborative workspaces,
Exactly.
less cubes, getting rid of cubes completely, hopefully.
A more spacious sort of
more
footprint.
spacious footprint that really encourages people to come in, meet with their colleagues, network, share ideas, and really kind of contribute to like the success of those businesses.
Right. Okay. Well, it'd be very interesting to look at that survey and see what kinds of questions you ask and the results and sort of dive into a little bit deeper.
Anyone can access
very
that on
interesting.
mrisoftware.com.
Okay.
Okay,
Great.
so go to that
Thank
website
you for that.
and
sounds great.
Download it.
All right. Well, I am definitely going to do that.
Okay.
Well, Andy, it was great having you. Thank you for stopping by and
Thank
having
you
a
for
chat
inviting
with
me.
us.
That was great.
Look forward to maybe talking to you again in June at the Realcomm IBCon conference.
Absolutely.
Would love to get another update from you then.
Yeah, sounds good.
Well, thank you
you
for being here.
Thanks.
Thank you.